Okay, let's talk about something truly wild. We're about to unpack one of the most explosive, most concentrated wealth creation events in, well, maybe ever. The AI billionaire boom of 2025. Yeah, this one single year completely redrew the map of global wealth, and we're going to get into exactly how it all went down. It all kicks off with this number right here, 50. Actually, more than 50. That's how many new billionaires the AI industry created in the single year of 2025. Just let that sink in for a second. More than 50. And to be clear, we're not talking about existing fortunes just getting a little bigger. Nope, these are newly minted billionaires. We're talking about people who crossed that 10-figure line for the very first time. And here's the really mind-blowing part, the sheer speed and focus of it all. This wasn't some slow burn across the entire tech sector. This was a tidal wave of wealth, all coming from just one industry, AI, and it all happened in just 12 months. One industry, 1 year. So what on earth lit the fuse for an explosion like that? Well, to figure it out, you gotta do what they always say, follow the money. And there was a lot of money. Here's your answer. $200 billion. That is the absolutely staggering amount of cash that investors poured into AI companies in 2025 alone. It was just a torrent of money, all hunting for the next big thing. And just to put that number in perspective, in 2025, AI startups basically captured half of all global venture funding. Think about that. That means every other startup in every other industry, biotech, clean energy, you name it, they were all left fighting over the other half of the pie. It was a massive industry-defining shift from the year before. All right, so this insane level of investment didn't just create numbers on a spreadsheet. It created a whole new class of tech titans. So let's meet some of the key players and companies that really defined this new era of wealth. So early in the year, the whole market gets rattled by this Chinese startup called DeepSeek. See, while its rivals in the US were just burning through cash on massive computing power, DeepSeek comes out with this powerful open source model, one that anyone could use and build on. And here's the kicker. It was trained with way less power. This kind of efficiency just sent total shockwaves through the industry. And the reward for that incredible innovation? Well, DeepSeek's founder, Liang Wenfeng, was pretty much catapulted into the billionaires club with an estimated net worth of, get this, $11.5 billion. Almost overnight. Meanwhile, back in the US, a company called Anthropic was running a completely different playbook. But man, was it just as effective. Their game plan was simple. 1, develop the super popular Claude AI model. 2, raise billions and billions of dollars at these just soaring valuations. And 3, turn all 7 of their co-founders into billionaires. That's right, 7 from just one company. But hey, this boom wasn't just about the big foundational AI models. A whole ecosystem was sprouting up, especially in AI-generated media, and it was creating its own huge wave of new wealth. Yeah, just take a look at the audio startup 11 Labs. In a single funding round, the company was valued at a stunning $6.6 billion. More than enough to create yet another set of AI billionaires. Okay, so we've talked about the big, flashy names and the really cool models. But behind all of that, there was this less glamorous, but honestly maybe more critical part of the industry that was the real, hidden engine behind this whole boom. And that engine is something called data labeling. To put it really simply, it's the tedious, careful work of telling an AI what it's looking at, right? You take raw data, an image, a text file, whatever, and you add labels to it to give it context. It's crucial because without this high-quality labeled data, even the most powerful AIs are basically useless. The demand for this kind of work created an absolute gold rush, and 3 giants basically emerged from the dust. First, you have Scale AI, hitting a valuation of nearly $29 billion and making its co-founder the world's youngest self-made woman billionaire. Then there's Surge AI, reaching $24 billion, making its founder the single wealthiest newcomer of the whole year. And then you have Mercor, whose $10 billion valuation turned its 3 22-year-old founders into the youngest on record. Crazy stuff. But the real defining moment for this whole sector came in June. That's when Meta placed this massive bet, buying almost half of Scale AI for more than $14 billion. The deal didn't just cement co-founder Lucy Groh's spot as a billionaire. It also saw Scale's CEO Alexander Wang move over to Meta to be its new chief AI officer. A huge move. Okay, so we've seen the insane numbers, we've met the companies, the people. Let's zoom out one last time and really try to figure out, what does all of this mean? What were the core ingredients that created this financial firestorm? When you really boil it all down, it was just a perfect storm. You had this record-breaking river of investment money. That money fueled this intense competition between the big tech giants and all the hungry startups. That competition, in turn, led to these lightning-fast technological breakthroughs. And those breakthroughs, well, they were used to justify the staggering, sky-high valuations that created all these new billionaires. And all of this, it brings us to one final and really crucial question we have to ask. I mean, this was just an unprecedented explosion of wealth. It moved faster and was more concentrated than almost anything we have ever seen before. But when that happens, when an industry creates that much wealth, that fast, who gets left behind?